you, why are you suddenly politically active for the first time in your life?
Well, Vicki, the reason is that I finally was awakened to find that the country that I loved, the country that my father, who came from communist Russia, came for freedom here, brought his children up for freedom and opportunity, I see that going through my fingers, going away. And I just recently adopted 2 children from Ukraine, and they lived in a hellhole orphanage, and they had no opportunity. And my husband and I brought them here, spent 2 months in that country, brought them here for an opportunity that might not exist, that is going away. I can't have that. I promised these children a better life. I told them that they were going to have what I had, which was the American dream, the opportunity to either become something or not. It was up to me, not up to somebody else. And that promise I will keep with my last dying breath. And that is why I have woken up and I am so politically active, and I will do this until somebody else joins me, and I think you're on board. We're all on board, but we need more people. People come here for the American dream, and we promote that, but don't achieve it, because the first time you achieve that American dream, clobbered. That's what's going to happen to you. No. You're going to get clobbered down.
This has been going on for years.
Yes.
With our income tax in this country. It's a punitive system.
It is a
punitive system because you punish success. Anytime you punish success, you automatically start the downward spiral in the private sector. You cannot punish success. You have to reward success. Yes. You have to. And we haven't created an environment in this country that will reward success. That's why you've seen all of our manufacturing fleeing everywhere else. Companies are not going to, pay somebody $20 an hour or $30 an hour, to stand on an assembly line and slap a headlight in place when they can pay somebody $2 a day to do it someplace else. That's business. It's the way it works. So we haven't created the environment in this country to prosper.
What bothers me is that when you have a communist country and everyone has equal jobs and there is no American dream to work toward, there is no motivation or incentive to get up in the morning and do anything. Why try to succeed if you're going to get punished for it? So
it comes down to either equal opportunity or equal results. We talk about that all the time. So, those who are looking for equal results aren't going to have the initiative to go do something about it to bring up their lot in life as compared to someone who wants more out of life. You're going to punish them. So that's not right.
That's right. Well, we interviewed Scott Cleland, who wrote a book called Search and Destroy. And the book talks about Google and the power that they are amassing. And they're amassing this power through information. And according to what he told us, is that Google gives you, I think there's several hundred free things you could get. Google Desktop, Google this, Google that, But when you sign up for this free stuff, what Google is able to do is come in and copy everything that's on your computer, on your hard drive. And they make these backup copies of it. What they're doing with the information, well, it's really unclear. But as we know, once they have every bit of information about you, then they can do what.
Then it's unlimited.
It's unlimited what they can do. I mean, corporate espionage, this, that, and the other thing. So, we're living in an age that God only knows what's going to happen. But I just want to say, even though I was never in the military, I did an academic career, I was never in the military, but I've been saying, and I really believe, and I'm ready for it, there's going to be a civil uprising in this country. If things continue to go the way they're going, the good people, the God-fearing people of this country are going to have to stand up. And it may be with our lives, but we are going to have to stand up to preserve what so many people died for to preserve. And the United States is really, if you look back in history, the United States is the only country that has given people the freedom, given so many people the freedom that this country has. It is a country of destiny. However, if it goes down, it doesn't mean that there'll be another one right behind it. Look, for all the time that we've been on this earth, there's only been one United States of America.
One free country.
One free country. And if we lose that, well, it may be, you know, thousands more years before we ever get another free country like this again. And plus, I believe it would be a huge sin. If anybody believes in sin, which I do, it would be a huge sin to ruin what I believe God has given us.
Getting back to this unrest and class warfare, when I saw President Obama at a campaign speech when he was still running for office, he, in a very arrogant manner, said, "Who here makes over $250,000 a year?" And looked around the audience, and I thought, my goodness, I've never seen anybody do this before. You're almost, I'm probably never going to make $250,000 a year, but had you been a successful person in that audience, you would have almost been afraid to raise your hand the way it was posed. It was almost demonizing to anybody in the audience who had the audacity to sacrifice and build a business, or, you know, go to school for 10 or 12 years to become a neurosurgeon, or, you know, it was scary the way it was done. Who here makes over $250,000 a year? Wow. I was like, that's the first time I'd ever seen anybody do that.
And what were you saying about class warfare and civil unrest?
No, there's a growing divide in this country between the haves and the have-nots.
And who's making that happen?
The healthy middle class is being squeezed out.
Who's doing that?
It's a liberal left-wing ideology that's doing that. Because they think that their solution is, with enough taxation, regulation, and social engineering, we can create utopia on Earth. It's never going to happen. It's never happened in the history of mankind. It's not going to happen. But huge bloated governments take what? Huge tax money. Huge tax money. Where's that come from? Private sector. You and me.
That's right.
Yeah, that's right.
I said, you know, I am not afraid to give my life for this country, because I was in the United States Air Force for 20 years, and it meant a lot to me when I was growing up, and I saw the difference between, and I was taught what communism is. I did not want us to become like Russia. I knew at that time, I was around 9, 10, 11 years old, and I knew at that time that was not the direction that I wanted to go in. I found out about the military. They used to take us Indian kids, and they used to feed us and give us Christmas things, and I found out about them, and they became my heroes, and I learned about it, and I became what I wanted to be. I wanted to be that hero. I wanted to fight for my country. I wanted to do whatever it took to keep this country free.
And do you think that we might have to give our lives?
If we do, I have no problems in doing it. I have lived a full life. I would give it because I know that I'm giving it for my kids and for their kids, the next generations. We have to do whatever it takes to keep this country free.
And freedom isn't free.
No.